Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for another session in our virtual Lunch and Learns on different scams that we see out in our community. Today's scam topic is going to be government scams. This is a very common type of scam that we hear about, not only here at the credit union, but out in the community as well. And we want to make sure that you're aware of what the types of scams are out there and how to find those red flags and how to prevent being scammed by them. So government scams are essentially scams that are focused on the scammer pretending to be from a government agency. So some examples of that, they'll might say, hey, this is Officer Allison Kraus with XYZ agency, and my employee ID number is 1234567 and they might be talking very fast. A lot of times they're trying to have you think it sounds serious and that it sounds official, that they might be making up the agency or their ID number, or they might pretend to be an agent for an agency that doesn't have agents, things like that. They also may have some general information about you. So they might have your name, your address, your date of birth. They might have some of those types of pieces. And they're able to kind of glean those off of the internet. There's a lot of people search websites that are out there that have people's general information, whether it's a phone number, their name, birthday, address, that type of thing. So it's very easy for those people to start throwing that information at you and sound really official. Some of the agencies that they like to spoof or impersonate a lot are the FTC, which does a lot of the fraud and communications things for the United States government. Social Security, that's another one that they really try to go after and impersonate quite a bit. The IRS, again, everybody pays taxes, so that's something that they like to go after people's tax returns and pretend to be the IRS. FBI and law enforcement agencies. We hear this a lot, especially locally, about people impersonating either law enforcement benevolence funds or support agencies, as well as law enforcement themselves. Here locally, we've heard from both Fort Washington Police Department, Sheboygan Police Department, Plymouth Police Department. They've had people who have been scammed that they were called by people impersonating them, either for things like unpaid tickets or unpaid fines or missing a jury duty that they never got a letter for, and try to scare you into giving that funds or that information over to them. Sometimes they'll just create a fake agency name. Like they'll say like, I'm from the Bureau of Credit Delinquency. There isn't a government agency like that, but some of those types of things can sound legitimate and can be really intimidating when they're coming across on the phone or in an email and it looks or sounds really official and very serious. Because again, it can be serious when we're working with the government and there's concerns in that way. However, they're not going to be calling down to you either through social media or email or phone call and harassing you that way. The government is a lot more official than that. So one of the common ones we see is social security number related things. Either we're canceling your social security number, we're changing your social security number, we're adding letters, yours is no longer valid, things like that. And they're claiming to be with the IRS and they're threatening to suspend or cancel any social security related benefits, which again, if you're on a fixed income and that's where you're relying on for your support, that can be really intimidating when somebody's calling and saying, hey, we're going to cut off your access to that. So it's definitely one of those situations that they try to get you scared or get you nervous or anxious about something so that you make decisions and give them information or send them money without thinking about it. Another common one that we see is tax refund related ones. So we all do taxes, and of course, tax refunds are really important for a lot of people as well. Of course, we're not in tax season right now, but to prepare for next year, You'll often get during those months, March through May, spam emails that say, click here to get some details about your tax refund. And they'll use the Social Security office logo or the IRS logo or similar looking things to get you to click into it and download malware into your computer so that they can absorb your data or watch as you type in passwords or things like that, or to send you a fake document. They'll spoof or recreate IRS documents that you normally fill out, and they'll add extra boxes to that form to get additional information out of you. So anytime you see an email come through that says it's from the IRS or it says it's related to your tax refund, delete it and go through an official source. Because the IRS doesn't send emails to taxpayers about the status of their tax refunds. We really recommend going directly to the website. Now, I will caveat that by saying that there is a lot of fake IRS websites and Where's My Refund websites out there. Scammers love to send people to false websites and get you to put in your social security number and other information in to help you access your account, when in actuality, they are taking that information from you. So I would recommend reaching out to your tax professional if you work with somebody. Otherwise, if you go through like TurboTax or another paid platform, going in through their website and your account through them to get the official response, or contact the IRS directly. So in general, government agencies, whether it is at the federal, state, or local level, will not be calling you directly or emailing or texting, and especially not sending anything through social media, because that's definitely not an official channel and is rather invasive in that way. That's not how they communicate. Most government agencies of all levels use snail mail, which is pretty typical with that. And if they contact you, one of those methods, and they're asking for money or they're asking for your personal information, it's most likely a scam. You can always, if you get something and you're like, this looks legitimate and I'm really scared about it, or I get a call and it sounds really legitimate, hang up, hold on to that message, and contact the official agency through a different method. So whether that's going to their official website, whether it's calling your local law enforcement office directly, or if you have previous bills or previous things that you have the official number on, go to that, because sometimes those they'll send you in that call, email, or text or message a fake phone number or a fake email to use and can keep you wrapped in that scam. So it's important to find a separate resource to get those official numbers or websites, so that way you know you're on the right page. And again, if they're asking for money, generally, again, that will all be in a paper form or through snail mail. And if you have a local office of something, so if it's something with your local law enforcement, you can stop by the police station. If it's Social Security, go to the Social Security office. I know most of those places are not the easiest to be accessible, but it still is a great way to double check that and report that. Also, don't trust your caller ID. Again, it's very easy for scammers to have your phone pop up with IRS or FBI or Social Security or things like that. There's websites that you can spoof any kind of caller ID you want to have come up with your number. So don't fully trust your caller ID when it comes to those things. Also, don't hand out your personal information. If somebody sounds legitimate and you're like, okay, this is scary, take a step back, hang up, and go through an official channel to verify that this is actually the situation. They'll really try to be pressuring you and be making it very intimidating to say no or embarrassing. They really want to play on your emotions that way. And so it's really important that to know that you don't have to give out that personal information. They should have your social security number already. If they're the social security office, they should have the right information and your account information already if they are the IRS. So they shouldn't be asking for those information. And then finally, don't wire money or use gift cards or cryptocurrency or a payment app like Cash App or Venmo to pay the government. So the government, again, it's very old school. Like I said before, they do a lot of the paper mailing and snail mail. So generally, they do not accept gift cards, because what is the government going to do with like a Kohl's gift card or something like that? Same goes with money wiring. Generally, if with that as well, they'll try to get your money out of state, so that way it's harder to get that money back. Cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or different types of NFTs, those are all unregulated by the government. So the government is not going to take payment in the form of something it does not regulate and have control of. So if there's anything related to Bitcoin or anything like that, it's definitely not the government. Same goes with payment apps. Those aren't super new. Those are super new, and they definitely are not part of general protocol when repaying things for any level of government yet. So definitely, if they're saying, send me a Cash App, send me a PayPal, send me this thing or that thing, definitely use that as a red flag as to what is going on. All right, so that is government scams. Like I said, it's something that can be intimidating when you get a call from something that looks like the government or an email or a text message. But anytime that you're getting one of those kind of scary messages or some scary call, take a step back, hang up the phone. They can always call you back if it's really somebody legitimate. And you can verify that before you connect with them again. So, all right. Thank you for joining us.